Well, as far as like materials go, I know supply chain was a big issue for a lot of pool companies with parts coming from China for pumps and all sorts of stuff. How is that affecting you?
It's supply chain now is fine. There was definitely an issue previously. There was a fire at a chemical plant which produced one of the main components that is in PVC. So that made the cost of PVC go up. It's come down a little bit. In fact, I should probably check in with my supplier and see if it has indeed come down. But fuel is a big thing. Fuel has affected the cost of everything from hauling off dirt from jobs, bringing in gravel, freight. I mean, it's a surprisingly large number.
That component for PVC, I believe, was chlorine. That's that polyvinyl chloride. And that's also affected the price of chlorine that goes into pools. Right?
Exactly.
Had a conversation with a client in Texas yesterday, and he was complaining that a bucket of chlorine, I mean, it's shock or something like that, was like $800 for 150 pounds.
Wow.
And he said it ought to be, a few years ago it was 200, something like that. So, yeah, shortages still happen, but that's a fire, not a COVID.
True.
Deal.
Yeah. Well, the end product price has certainly gone up. And I know that you had mentioned that demand, drove the price. Not so much for us. I mean, our margins are still the same, but the costs are absolutely up. I mean, I can pull up a list of email on my phone where all the titles are notice of price increase, weekly notice, price increase. I mean, it's just every week.
Still.
Oh, yeah.
And and how are you doing that? Are you're just passing it right on to the customer?
No. In fact, this is a lot of prices were changing so quickly that a lot of builders put a price escalation clause in their contract. And this was tied to some market indices. I don't follow it particularly, but I'm sure that's legitimate, but it's just not how we chose to do it. We chose to give a price that we were comfortable with, and whatever shakes out from there, that's on us.
And are you and not just job to job though? So you still are technically increasing your prices, but not in the middle of a project?
Correct.
Right. So you would increase your prices if you just got a new job tomorrow. It'd be more expensive than the one 6 months ago because of the price increases. How long is it taking you to finish a pool typically? I mean, obviously weather is huge on that, but
yeah, you really stuck me on the spot there with the weather this week. Typically a basic pool, if it's fiberglass, from start to finish, 3 to 5 weeks.
Okay.
I think that's pretty fair.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, and with that, you're able to, because the concrete pool's longer than that. Is that right?
Much longer.
Yeah. So on the fiberglass, it's a little bit easier for you to justify not increasing the prices, because it's still within like a month almost.
Right.
So, you're able to not have to pass that on to the customer within, as long as you do your budgeting properly. That makes more sense. You may be a little bit different if you're on the concrete side, where it might take you 4 months. You might have a huge issue.
Well, we had one that a gunite build that we did, and we do the diagrams, the specs, and send it to the gunite company, and they give their price back, and a few weeks later, then the contract's signed, and then the process starts permitting. Another few weeks goes by, and by the time that work was actually done, it was like 40% more. And at that point, you don't go, on that big of a bill, you do not go back to the homeowner and say, oh, hey, by the way, I need more money. You just suck it up and get it done.
Man, that's
so you didn't
rough.
have a price escalation protection from your supplier.
Right. Oh, they did credit me the fuel surcharge. So.
Goodness.
Oh man,
that's rough. I know a pool builder that's just doing straight cost plus, and that's how he's getting around it.
Yep.
Rather than having to do this price escalation all the time, it's like, nope, here you go, there's the price.
Yeah.
So crazy.